Okay, now I would like to go over one of the scenes here, and it's going to be the one when you hit stop all clips button. Okay, it's not lit. I was not able to light that one, which is fine. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see, basically, if I take my fingers and I put them on the first two rows and move them all the way down, that represents deck A. Okay, if I move to the second, the third, and the fourth, those two rows represent deck B, and then so on. The next two over are track C and deck B, D. Sorry. Okay, so realize that this scene here is split into 4 sections that are all basically the same. And pay no attention to the blinking buttons for this section here that's orange and red. Okay, but what you're going to see is red buttons on the top for each of these sets, and that's going to be your play button for deck A, deck B, deck C, and deck D. Okay, the green buttons next to it will either be blinking or not blinking, and that is going to be your loop button, so you can loop activate. So you can turn on loop activate on any of your 4 decks or turn it off from those buttons. Okay. The 8 buttons that are down from those are your cue buttons for each deck. Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cues for each track deck that you're using. Okay, so I will show you here. As you can see, I have a track loaded up. I can hit play. I can turn the loop function back on, so it will cycle through its loop. And then I can also, at any time I want, as long as play is on, I can hit that cue button, right? And that's going to take me to my cue point, right? Notice if I'm at stop, I can still hit that. Say I want to get to a cue point before anyone's hearing it. I can hit that button, and as long as the deck is not playing, then it will just take you to that cue and sit there. Okay. Alternatively, if I'm ready to play and I want to play it right from a cue, I can hit both buttons, the play and the cue button at the same time, or I can simply put it to where I want it to be and hit the play button. Okay. And again, then I have my 8 cues. I think I have 4 set up, and I have 3 set up in here. You can see those here, and of course, the green cue points are looped. The blue one is not looped, and that's basically how that works. So. Alright, so there you go. So that's what I wanted to explain for that. There's a bottom row down here, okay? And let me go ahead and stop this. Okay, so we have your clip stop row, okay, on the bottom here. You'll see that 4 of these will automatically be lit, skipping every other one. What that is your sync button. Okay, so when you click this, you'll notice it starts blinking, and your sync is active on the screen. Okay, and you'll also notice when you turn it off, you'll see the APC stop blinking, act accordingly. Okay, so for any of these, we can turn on sync for decks A, B, C, and D. The next set of buttons I want to talk about are the ones that are off here, you can see, and what those are is your cue monitor buttons. Okay, so you'll see as I click this, the headphone button lights up here. Okay, so at any point I can listen to in my queue any of these tracks, A, B, C, or D decks. Okay, the other thing is you have this knob right here. It's your cue level, which is not your cue level, but what it is your mix knob, and that will fade you between your master output and what you have queued and mix you in between. The master volume is always your cue volume, okay? Because remember, if we want the volume for output, we'll just click on track selection 1, and then we have volume control over our main output and our record output. Okay. The other sliders 1 through 8, those have to do with the track decks, the sample decks, and of course, not to leave out the crossfader here. We have our crossfader, and I think I have these programmed. I'm not quite sure what they do. I'm pretty sure record is record. Play with your bank, select, and shift. I'm not sure if the shift does anything because I might have had to use all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't think shift does anything anymore because I had to use all of the shift options, if you will, all 8 of them that Traktor gave us to use. But play with these. I think they'll select your tracks, and play with these. I think they'll load them in somehow. But it's been a long time since I made this, as you know, since like 200 people have downloaded this, and I don't have a tutorial up yet. So here we are. So that's basically the show all clips scene. I call that the transport scene or the play scene. So that's how that works. And then I'm going to go over the next scene here in a minute, and that's going to be the effects. So we'll see you in the next video.